Hello, welcome back to Greenhill Junction. Different video this time because we've got a new addition for the layout, and it's this Hornby A1 Knight of the Thistle in LNER green. The catalogue number for this is R3989, and I picked this up from the model centre for £127.49, I think it was. Its RRP is around £228. And there are a few retailers still selling it for that, Hattons and another one. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is worth the best part of £230, in my opinion, or if it's worth more what I paid for it, which was just about £128. It does have the flickering firebox, which is a feature I quite like, and it also has a die-cast running plate, which we'll see if that makes any difference whatsoever. I don't really think it will. So that's the box, standard Hornby box, nothing exciting. So we'll take that away, and there's the loco itself. Now, first off, the livery is stunning. It's one of my favourite liveries, and Hornby do it particularly well. I just like the contrast between all the colours, and yeah, it just stands out. This model appears to have a lot of separately fitted details, and it also comes with a detailing pack, which I don't really like. It's like, you know, I buy the model, why am I having to fit stuff to it? But there's not much in it. There's the brake rigging for the loco, there's some gold steam pipes to go in there, and there's a set of steps which I can't figure out where they go, and when you look at the picture on the box, which has the separately fitted details on it, yeah, it doesn't really show you where the steps go. So don't know what they're for, but they weren't getting fitted anyway. I might fit the rest of the stuff. Oh, and there's a chain link coupling for the front, which I'll probably put on. So we just look at the loco first of all, and yeah, lots of separately fitted details, beautiful paintwork on it, really nice fine handrails along the length of the loco. Nice paintwork. The white lines are just immaculate. They're perfect on the body as well as around the circumference of the wheels. Nice clear nameplate. I think it's just plastic. I don't think it's etched, but it doesn't make a difference to me. You know, as long as everything looks good. Got nice gold bits picked out there, and I think that's a manufacturer's plate. And as you can see, the red line across the footplate is just perfect. There's no wiggle in it. It's complete. Is that die cast? Probably. Feels a bit different from the rest of it. Is it going to make a difference? Nah, probably not. The valve gear looks to be in scale to my eyes. If we move down towards the cab, nice glazing on it. Has the movable vents up the top. And this is where the red lining really comes into its own, around the axle boxes. Again, incredibly fine, incredibly precise. It just looks really, really good. Now I'll show you the inside of the cab in a sec, but we'll just move on to the tender. Again, everything is done very well. The axle boxes are superb. I absolutely love that. And then the LNER and the lining is again done perfectly. And the tender's a little bit different in that it has these grab rails or something like that around the top, and it's got a coal load in it that looks like coal, and that can be removed if you desire. So we'll just go around to the back, and again there's a couple of separately fitted handrails there, very fine, very nice. It has sprung buffers, whatever you need sprung buffers for. The vacuum pipe is fitted, and it looks like it's got some lamp iron holders as well, maybe 5 of them. Now we'll go to the cab. The cab is particularly detailed. So first of all, we've got a really nice footplate there. Certainly looks like it's etched. Whether it's printed or etched, I can't really tell. Excuse my finger. Yeah, it's etched actually. And if you look in the cab, It's really well done. Now, you know, previous videos I've said I don't really see the point in this. I still don't really see the point in it. It's nice seeing it, and like, you know, even the gauges at the top right, sorry, try and get this to focus, do have like gauge detail on it. And there is, like I say, the flickering firebox, and I have seen an LED there, but I've not tested this yet. And again, another couple of separately fitted handrails. Going into the front. Yep, it's all very nice. Hinges are nicely picked out, if that's what you call them, on the smoke box. Another handrail up there, and the buffer beam is nicely aligned too. So, first impressions are very good. Very nice loco to look at. Everything is attached, there's nothing falling off in transit, there's nothing falling off during manufacturing, so I'm perfectly pleased with it. It's DCC ready, so I do have a DCC chip, so I'll show you how to fit the DCC chip in this loco. It seems relatively straightforward, and then we'll get it running around the layout. Alright, so back in a bit. Okay, fitting the DCC decoder. Like I said, it seems quite straightforward. This loco does have pickups on all the tender wheels and the driving wheels. What I did notice on the loco is on the front driving wheels you can just see the end of the pickup sticking out, but again, it's not going to. You're probably not going to notice it, and if I hadn't told you, you wouldn't be looking for it. So, not a big issue. So to get the tender off, what you need to do is pop off the back coupling, and then there's a screw down here. I need to undo. And that should allow the tender, move that out of the way, to just pop off, just like that. So that was remarkably easy. And there's the DCC socket there. So what I've got to fit in it is a Gauge Master Ruby decoder, 8 pin, just because it was the cheapest one I could find of a decent brand. It was a couple of quid cheaper than the Hornby decoder, so that's why I got the Gauge Master one. Right, so all you have to do is pop the decoder cover off, find the number 1, which is in the bottom right. Find the number 1 in the decoder, which handily is in the bottom right as well. And then press it in, just like that. And then what I'll probably do is I'll just fold that back. Would have been handy if the wires were the other side, but hey ho, plenty of room in the tender, so I'll fold that back. I'll get the tender back on, get it programmed onto Z21, and then we'll get it running. Right, that's running and complete. What I thought I'd do before I show you Night of the Thistle running around the layout is do a comparison between old and new. So on the left you've got my old Hornby Railroad Flying Scotsman, A1, A3, whatever it is, and on the right you've got Night of the Thistle A1. Now, done a wee bit of research, not a fantastic amount of difference externally between the A1 and the A3. I think it was all upgrades internally to make the A3 more efficient, use less coal, more powerful, and outwardly the locos essentially stayed the same. So this is a fair comparison. Also, this Flying Scotsman is quite old. It was one of the first locos I got when I first got back into model railways. I think it was manufactured early to mid 2000s, maybe 2005, something like that. Where and you can pick these up in good condition for about £80 to £100 right now. Whereas this is obviously, well, if you get it from retail or at full price, £228. So what we're getting extra for that, and is there a significant improvement on a model that is actually coming on 20 years old when you think about it? So obviously, let's get the obvious bits out to start with. The livery on this is far superior. I mean, as I've said, it is superb, and you can see the difference plain as day there in the camera. The other thing is the electrics have been improved. So Flying Scotsman, the tender is just a bit of plastic that gets dragged about. It has no function whatsoever. Whereas the tender in Night of the Thistle has all-wheel pickups. So you've got the 8 pickups in the tender plus the 6 pickups in the loco, which obviously helps with keeping it running on, across points, dirty track, dead sections, things like that, because you're getting electricity fed in from either end of the loco. And then we have the less subtle things, such as the die-cast footplate on this and the flickering firebox inside. This is all just plastic. I know there's a few people that moan about plastic running plates, foot plates, that they warp. I've actually had my metal ruler on both of these, and this one, despite being 20 years old, is completely straight. So again, am I just lucky with Hornby stuff, or do other people just moan more about Hornby stuff for their own gain? Maybe that'll start a lively discussion. But anyway, moving on. So let's look at the mechanics on the inside and see what's different. So if we open up Flying Scotsman first of all, you'll see it's a DCC ready loco, and I've added the chip, obviously, because I run DCC. We've got the motor, we've got a flywheel on the back. Now I believe this is a 3-pole motor. Older loco, older style motor. If we open up Night of the Thistle, we can see that it's the same chassis, which isn't a huge issue for me, because let's face it, once you've measured, or certainly externally, once you've measured, a real life A1, A3, you got the measurements, it's going to be the same. And what they've done here is this is a 5-pole motor, and they've removed the flywheel to fit in the flickering LED for the firebox. But you'll see that it's still got the old mount for the DCC, which is there. So if I just zoom you in to show this, so if you zoom in on that, you'll see you've got the void there with the 2 screw holes. Now if I take you into Flying Scotsman and zoom in on the DCC chip, you'll see there's the void, and there's the 2 screw holes holding in the mounting plate for the chip. Now I'm going to delve into controversy, perhaps. I don't know why my camera keeps on flipping like that. So again, there's a lot of clamour for flywheels to be fitted to modern locos. Now, I don't know much about that, or I didn't know much about that, and I did some research, and from a lot of the things I'm reading, the reason that flywheels are on the older models with the 3-pole motors is because of the lack of power in the motor, the unreliable running due to only having local pickups. The reason apparently it's not in the modern ones is because these 5-pole motors are so much more reliable, and because there's such better pickups. And what a lot of the forums are certainly saying is that you're better having clean, reliable track than having a flywheel in the loco. So maybe that'll open up a lively discussion as well. And certainly I don't know in my 20 locos what's got a flywheel and what doesn't have a flywheel. What I know is as long as the wheels are clean and the track's clean, they all run fine. So I suppose my issue here is, what are we getting for an extra 230 quid? Obviously we're getting much better livery. Is that going to cost you £100 extra to do? No, I seriously doubt it. We're getting a better engine, better motor, but we're missing the flywheel, depending on what your opinion is on that. And we're getting, let's face it, a cheap LED put in. If you've got the confidence and the electronic knowledge to put that in, that's I don't know, £5-10 to fit that to locos. And we do have a die cast footplate on this. I can tell now I've taken it off. It's definitely metal. the footplate, whereas this is plastic. Does that make any difference? I'm going to come straight out and say absolutely not. It makes zero difference to the look of the loco. It makes zero difference to the running of the loco. So we're paying for a bit of metal, which has to be more expensive than a bit of plastic, for nothing. And it's driving up the price of this. So personally, I would rather have, obviously the chassis are metal on both, but I would rather have a completely plastic body shell to save on cost, and then therefore save on the cost of this. The other point I'm kind of wondering if people have opinions on is that I got this for £128, give or take. I think it was actually 126. RRP is the best part of £228. Now, I don't believe the model centre would be selling this to make a loss. And when I last checked the website, certainly the sister loco of this, Doncaster, they said they had 10 plus available. So they're selling it for £100 cheaper per model. I really don't believe the model centre are prepared to make a grand loss on their stock of a model. So it begs the question of, if the model centre can sell this for £128, £126, whatever I paid for it, and make a profit, they're clearly buying it off Hornby cheaper than what they're selling it, so they can make a profit. Hornby are selling it to the model centre at a cost so they can make a profit, but to get that from Hornby is £228. So to me, the money that is, the excess cost of these locos is not down to production costs, it's not down to design costs, because as you can see, this is the same design as a loco that was designed in 2004, 2005. Very little has changed apart from a little bit of electronics and some wiring. So it's not production costs, it's not design costs, it's profiteering. Unless someone can tell me different, it looks like sheer nut or profiteering. And to make such a big markup on a loco that has required very little changes to make it a new modern loco is no sitting well with me. But hey, let's have a discussion about this. Tell me otherwise if you know otherwise. This is just my opinion, but from what I can see, there's not huge changes over 20 odd years between these two locos. So why the massive difference in price? Even brand new, this would have been, I don't know, maybe £120, if even that. So let's have a chat. Put your comments in the bottom of the video. Give me your opinions on it, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thought I'd show you that. Thought it was quite interesting just to do a comparison. So I'll put her on the track, Night of the Thistle that is. I'll probably have Flying Scotsman running around as well, and we'll just get some shots of it running around the track. So back in a bit. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that run session. Got a few other LNER locos out and a couple others as well. I suppose to conclude this, is this a £228 model? And in my opinion, it isn't. There's just not enough development costs and production costs, in my opinion, to make this worth it. I had no issues paying over £200 for the Hush Hush. That was a brand new loco, brand new tooling, lots of development costs, lots of planning costs. I'm afraid this loco underneath is the same chassis, give or take some electronic wires getting moved about and a few pickups added in, as a much older railroad Flying Scotsman. Is this worth £126? Absolutely. I mean, look at it, it's a stunning loco, it runs like a dream, and I think you'd really struggle to find a loco as beautiful as this for anywhere near that price in the current market. So if you can still get it, I haven't checked recently, then if you want it, I will go get it. It's definitely worth the 126, and that is a cracking price to get it at. It's just a shame it's so overinflated, and I think what I'm going to be doing for any future Hornby releases, I've currently got my eye on it, I think it's the new P2 Thane of Fife, is I'm just going to wait until one of the retailers reduces it, because I'm not going to pay that sort of price. That's I think it's £229 once you add in joining the members club, and I've already checked, there's members club locos available without being a member of a members club. So yeah, definitely worth 126, not worth 228, but stunning model all the same. Really enjoy having it run around the layout, really enjoy just filming that run session. So thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think of the points I've raised in this video. Leave all your comments below and I'll reply to them all. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to the channel, we'll get back to some building in the next video, then press the subscribe button. But I appreciate all your support, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.